Hey guys, welcome back to another video quickly on the B&D Bricks channel. I know this is probably not what you were expecting to see for the intro, but it is the first thing that I'm going to do, so, I mean, I'm not really doing anything actually. I'm just saying, yeah, so welcome to the video. This is a video that I've been planning to do for a while. This is my video on custom clone decals. Obviously you know that because you read the title. I'm going to get into it, tell you guys what I did and what I learned about it that is important to keep in mind if you guys want to do decals for yourselves. At first, I want to show you my current custom clones, and then at the end, I'll show you my custom clones that I decaled myself. I know the Lego Brit made a video on decals, but he did not actually decal them himself, so I mean, I think I'm better than him. But on to the actual video. So I'm going to start by telling you guys all about how I did it. But before I actually end up starting, I wanted to tell you guys to, can you guess? Yeah, you can. It's like and subscribe. I am at the recording of this video 383 subscribers, which I went up like 30 today as of recording, and it's just like, what? I mean, I haven't even made a video in a few days because I've been sick, and I am feeling better now. Thank you guys for asking. Some of you were, but I mean, yeah. So I'm showing you the ARC 170, I guess, right now, but that's not really what I'm here to do. So let's actually get into it. Just showing you guys my remaining helmets, but I wanted to talk about quickly Neil Saurer. I'll put a link to his channel in the description. He was the first person to find one of my Darth Vaders. And just a reminder, Darth Vaders will be hidden in this video. Well, I guess a single one. So just keep that in mind. If you can find it, that's great. But showing you guys just I believe this is now I'm thinking. I believe this is the 16 clone helmets that I have remaining, the blank ones for decaling. I ordered these a while ago and they arrived, but then I had to wait for the decal sheets and stuff, so it took me a while to get this video done. But it was definitely worth it. So I've got these 16 more guys I'm going to make, but I started off by ordering these helmets. I made the bodies that I have. I wiped some of my old Zane bodies. It was like ZX or something, so it's not worth anything. But I will be trying to make more. I do need more bodies for that, though. But just showing you guys these helmets that I got. You can get them for relatively cheap. I got these off of Mercari, I think. But, I mean, yeah. So you can get these for pretty cheap. To show you guys quickly, this is my decaling station for right now. I've got just a little glass thing of water along with some tweezers, which I've been using to apply the decals, along with a body that I use to prop things up on a note card to stick stuff that doesn't work on, although it's, well, it's flipped upside, it doesn't really matter. But you can see here where some of this stuff has been messed up, like right there, it got kind of destroyed. I'm not sure how, maybe I got it wet or something. But you can see this was my decal sheet. So I printed this myself on the decal paper that I got in one of my haul videos, which you should go check out. And you can see some of the other ones that I have here. It's a jet trooper, a gunner, whatever, all the works. So the ones I've made are Rise. I made the Bark Trooper, that one, so you can see his arms are still there, and one Grunt. So we'll get to those at the end. You can see them. Obviously, you can't see them now because they're kind of just laid out. But yeah, so I just printed a whole bunch of these. I don't think I'm going to make too many more of these. I might make a couple more, but I did end up using a lot of the bodies and stuff that I didn't need to use, or like you can see over here for the Copper and Chaser. I tried to make them. I used their helmets, but then I didn't use their bodies, and it didn't end up working, so I had to move to a different one, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it's fine. But I will probably be making more of these guys, so it should be fine, although I mostly will be making 442nd and Shock Troopers because those are the ones I really want, but I'm going to practice more. And really, I'm not going to sell these. These aren't really for personal gain. I'm probably going to wipe them anyway at some point because I really would rather have Shock Troopers and 442nd. But I just made them as like my first ones as a test, and I didn't want to have to design a whole bunch that weren't just they were just going to be pointless. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. So this is the decal sheets I was using. What I've been doing is I would cut out one, and my scissors aren't here right now, but I was cutting out. You don't actually need an X-Acto knife. That's one of the things I noticed. It's lesson number one. You don't really need an X-Acto knife. I mean, they've got outlines. So you can see if I go to like the legs, yeah, those legs work. You can see if I go to the legs, you can see there's a little black outline. And if you can cut just inside the black outline, you don't need an X-Acto knife. It's really that's just kind of overkill, honestly. But yeah, so this is my station for doing the decaling. So I'm going to go ahead and while I'm here, just go over a few of the things that I learned. So the first thing is that if you're going to print them yourselves, this decal paper that you can get from Walmart is actually very good, but you have to make sure that you have some kind of like clear spray finisher or something, a finish that you can spray onto it, because otherwise the decals will fade. Like when you put them in water, I don't know if there's any little bits floating around right now, but there will be little bits of like plastic that are just floating around, or little bits of ink, and it just won't work very well. So you have to make sure that you spray them with that stuff first. Another thing that I noticed, like I said before, is that you don't need the X-Acto knife. It's really a waste of time and money. if you don't already have one. I mean, if you already have one, you might as well use it. But I didn't have one on hand, so whatever. Another thing that's my biggest tip is to practice because it is really hard. Like it's a lot harder than you would think. And if you're gonna print them yourselves, I would recommend buying them. You should buy them. And if you're gonna print them yourselves, design them yourself because um, why not? It's really hard to find. I'm working on making a plain 2020 style decal that you can add your own designs onto. So probably in one of my later videos, I'll be adding that. I think I'm going to make an announcement video soon because I'm really close to 400 subscribers. That'll make an announcement video. Oh, and if you aren't already subscribed, subscribe. I mean, if you like my content, I mostly do reviews and stuff, although I'm going to be stepping back from that for a little bit because I've reviewed a lot of my sets. But back to the actual video. So the next thing that I noticed that was really important is that you don't really need to spray the guys at the end. You just have to be careful that you're not messing with them a bunch. And really, it's just a lot of you don't have to do all the stuff that they tell you about, if you're careful. I did not file the hips of mine, and they're fine. I'm not playing with them, so I'm not moving their legs around. I'm too scared to, honestly. But as long as you just don't move the legs very much, you should be fine. And plus, legs are really easy to decal. Really, the only hard part. Oh, legs are really hard. Well, they're not too hard. The hard part is getting them to bend. So what I would say is that in advance, before you put it into the water, take the decal and just bend it at the foot. Just take the little foot bit and bend it. Well, I'm not going to do it right now, but just do that because that way it's already pre-bent somewhat when you apply it to the actual leg itself. And yeah, so also another thing to remember is that you're going to need to take apart, take the actual legs off of the hip piece because otherwise you're going to just mess it up. I can guarantee it. You need to make sure that you're cutting exactly what you need to cut. Otherwise, on the legs, you can see, well, you can't really see, but if you don't cut exactly where you need to cut, then you get a little bit of clear left over, and you can see on my video later, I'll show you, that it really is quite a nuisance, and it can interfere with the arms and the hip movements and stuff, and it's just not great. So you need to make sure that you cut it basically perfectly, as perfect as you can. But I mean, yeah, so that's really it for my tips. Really, it's just a lot of you don't need to do as much as you think. Really, the main thing is you need to make 100% sure, if you're not going to spray them, make 100% sure that you are going to put them and let them dry overnight. And don't try to apply, if you're doing the helmet, actually the helmet's fine. If you apply all of the parts of the helmet, you can see on these grunts, you can see how those are different bits. You just have to make sure you apply them all at the same time. Or not at the exact same time, just in quick succession. And if you're not going to apply them all in quick succession, then you have to make sure that you let them dry overnight. Because it will ruin it. Trust me when I say that. It will ruin it if you try to apply, on any piece, even on the torso. If you try to apply more than one thing on it, while one is still drying, but it's not, still completely wet, it will ruin it. So don't do that. But that is about all of my tips. So now I'm going to go ahead and return to my recording area and show you guys the 3 that I made so far. So here are the 3 that I made. Looking at them, the one all the way to the left is the first one I made, and the one all the way to the right is the last one I made. Of the 3, I think the last one is definitely the best, and you can definitely see the improvement, just looking at the different parts. You can see how the torso, it slowly got better. Although the helmet, I think I took a little bit of a step back, but this one looks pretty good, so I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, these aren't great, so I will probably be wiping them again, but it's good. So I'm going to start and show you this guy. This is the 252nd Grunt. Obviously on the helmet I got it slightly skewed, but it doesn't look bad overall. These are all 2020 style, so don't expect me to do any realistic ones. I'd much prefer 2020. And then on his torso you can see where I smudged it a little bit. It was actually on this guy, on the helmet, and same thing over here on the torso, that's where I'm going with that, is that I got my thumb stuck on it while I was decaling another part of it, and that's something you have to make 100% sure of. You do not touch it at all while it's drying. You can look here and you can see it'll focus on the little bottom rebreather area. That part looks great for me. It looks like it's actually been printed on because I did not touch it at all, versus on this one I hit it against something or whatever. I really like the design of these 252nd guys. One thing I do have to say is that I've been applying these. I haven't been taking the decals off of the things. I've just been sticking the actual paper with the decal on it directly onto them and then just letting it sit for a minute. Because I find that that's a lot easier to do, especially when you're starting out, and it makes it look less smudged. And I mean, yeah, it's just that's really nice, especially when you're starting out. But looking back at this guy, you can see his legs. One thing I realized there is that I didn't get it all the way down. I didn't get the decal all the way down, which is something that happens when you don't when you don't do what I said earlier and fold the feet, which I learned before. Obviously, you can see some improvement in that over here. But overall, I think that the first guy's pretty good. I will 100% be wiping him. But moving on to the second, you can see some of the more improvements. So this guy is, I believe, Reyes, like Reyes. Obviously, his head is not great. But, oh, and one thing I forgot to say is that this is in 4 parts. You get the rebreather as one part that you apply. The those little ventilation things on the sides are another part. The actual face is a third part, and the fin is a fourth part. The gold is attached to the face. On Rise, it was all attached except for the fin. Well, I guess it was the same thing. But I like him better. I just don't like my application of his decal better. You can see the yellow continues. I really like that. Onto the torso, you can see it's more white than yellow and blue, and I like that as well. More of that stuff. I mean, obviously, I'm not doing like an official figure review, but I believe, I don't know who it is. Someone sells this. This is the Clone Army, not Clone Army Cousin, the custom Lego Clone subreddit official 252nd, whatever. This is their clone battalion, which I am a designer for. So, yeah, but it's very cool. You can obviously see some improvement, although the head is clearly not an improvement. But yeah, on this guy, I believe the rebreather pieces, or not the rebreather, what is it? The ventilation bits, I believe they were actually attached to his normal face print, so that was much easier. But on to the last guy, the Bark Trooper. So this is my second Bark Trooper. I have the actual one, the official Lego one. I'm a big fan of it, or I'm not a big fan of it, but I think that this is my best one. Obviously, you can see on the torso, it's got some just smudges and stuff, but generally it's good. You can see on the feet, I kind of messed it up again, but I got that mostly better. You can see that improved there as well. Face is also significantly better in alignment and just generally, but the torso is the same as the first one. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot better. It's still not amazing, but it's definitely an improvement, and I'm very glad that I did this practice. So, thank you guys again so much for watching this video. It really means so much to me. As of right now, actually, I've gone up 3 subscribers since the start of the video. So, I mean, yeah, but those are my custom Lego clones. Like I said before, I will be putting my Plane Phase 2 probably in a later video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support lately. It's really, it means a lot to me to finally be getting a big payoff from putting in all this effort. I mean, I upload all the time, so if you're a new YouTuber, I would say upload all the time. That's kind of the best thing you can do. And yeah, thank you guys again so much, and look for Darth Vader. Look for Darth Vader. Go back and look for Darth Vader. Trust me. Whoever finds it first will get a shout out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll see you guys later.